In the match, it's probably going to be the real wrestling match of the night. This probably will be the best match on the card, unless they just really blow it up inside of the Hell in the Cell cages, which hasn't really happened in a while because of the fact of it being in the PG era and not being able to really use the cage for everything it's worth. If you want to just go, just on the mat, ground wrestling, I don't think it's going to get any better in the night than Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler. The whole Ziggler versus Roode feud is something that I really don't understand. Ziggler, took some time off. He came back. He said that he had changed his character in order to try and be more over with the fans. To me, Ziggler always was one guy that always went out there and gave 110% every match. I think that honestly the fans recognize that, and even though the WWE might not think that he is over, I've always thought that he's one of the guys that's got one of the best crowd responses. But to me, honestly, he's a guy that just gets put into these weird feuds where all of a sudden it seems like he's slipped all the way down the card, and then all of a sudden they remember he's Dolph Ziggler, and they put him in a title match, and it's just to the point where I don't think anybody think that he has any believability to him. I think that they need to get behind him, actually show that he could be in a spot where he could be champion, and is believable in his matches and his feuds. Because I think he's just been so up and down and around like a rubber band that nobody really buys unless he's in like a match for the Intercontinental title that he has a shot to win the championship. I don't really understand why he's been doing the Ultimate Warrior, Undertaker. I don't think he's done the Roddy Piper entrance, but if he does, I'll pop for it. He's got to have the bagpipes and all that jazz too with him, but he's basically trying to almost do what Eugene did, Nick Dinsmore, with the whole character of him trying to, play off of all of his heroes that he had. The one thing that I can tell you that I know that Dolph Ziggler really is a real wrestling fan. He's not doing any of these imitations as sort of a knock on anyone. I was really surprised at the fact that, I guess the only way to call her is Dana Warrior, took offense to Dolph Ziggler doing the Ultimate Warrior entrance, saying that it made him look like a goof, but maybe not everyone's going to understand. To me, Bobby Roode stood up to Ziggler. Ziggler says that the only thing he has going for him is an entrance, so I guess this is the battle of the entrances at Hell in the Cell 2017. To me, I really like Bobby Roode. I've liked him all the way back when he was in TNA. I think that he has a lot to give WWE in the main roster since moving up from NXT. Him being placed as a babyface doesn't make a ton of sense to me. This is a match that I think is a coin flip and honestly could go either way because of the fact that I think this feud isn't just a one-off. I picked Ziggler to win this match because I think this is going to be rerun at the next pay-per-view down the road. So my money's on Ziggler to beat Bobby Roode at Hell in the Cell.